Hey guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com. So today I'm really excited for this lesson because it's our very first one to feature acoustic drums and U-bass. So if you guys play U-bass, we're going to be teaching the U-bass part in a separate lesson from this. So I'll put the link in the description box below if you want to check out that lesson. So this lesson I've playfully titled Paint It Blacker. So obviously, as the name states, this is a lesson in the style of the Rolling Stones, and it's inspired by their song Paint It Black. So this lesson is going to be part one, and in part one we're going to be learning both riffs. If you guys want to learn the second half of this lesson, we're going to be covering that in part two of the video lesson at rockclass101.com. Just do a search for EP007, that's the lesson number for this lesson, or you can click this little card link right here. Now at that link you'll also be able to download the complete tabs that you can print off and follow along with, as well as download the backing track. So once you learn the complete song, you can play along with the drums and the U-bass. It's a lot of fun. And you can get access to the on-screen tab viewer, which is a really cool feature. You can hit play on the tab, watch the tab scroll across in real time, highlight bars to loop sections, slow it down to any speed you wish. Just a really great asset in learning this song that much easier. Alright, so let's go ahead and kick into this lesson. So before we learn the riff, let's talk about it. The riff sounds really cool. Why does it sound so cool? Well, the riff is written out of harmonic minor. So harmonic minor is almost the same scale as natural minor or Aeolian minor. But there's one note that's different. Instead of a flat 7 as in the minor scale, we have a raised 7. We have a natural 7. This gives us a scale formula of 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, 7, 1. So if I play it without calling, you hear it's a very Easterny sounding kind of scale. So it evokes a really cool sounding quality, something that you don't hear every day. Now, if this scale formula that I called out doesn't make any sense to you and you want to learn a little bit more about the theory behind playing and the theory behind scales, then check out our complete course that we released a couple weeks ago titled An Introduction to Music Theory and Jamming. So we have two riffs. We have riff A and riff B. We're going to go ahead and start with riff A because riff A is going to be pretty much, think of it as the bass riff. Riff B adds chords and makes it a bit fatter and fuller sounding. So here's what riff A sounds like, and then we'll learn it. Okay, so what do we hear? We hear that the rhythm is straight eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So we want to keep straight eighth note rhythm throughout, so every note lasts the same amount of time. So our riff covers 4 bars in length. Let's go ahead and break it down and learn 1 bar at a time. So the first bar sounds like this. Okay, and we can hear that we're playing off of the second string to the first string open. So it's like a pedal tone. That open A is going to be hit on every end of the beat. So if I count it out, I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you hear that open A is on every end of the beat. So for finger picking, all I'm going to do is use my thumb for string 2 and my middle finger for string 1. You guys could also use thumb for string 2 and index for 1. It really doesn't matter. It's whatever's most comfortable for you. But remember, the key is to keep it steady and even. So we're going to start off by playing 5 on string 2 and then open A. We're going to do that twice. So we have 2 times in a row. We have 5, 0, 5, 0. After that, we're going to move up to 7 and play that once. So 7 and then open A. So together I have 5, 0, 5, 0, 7, 0. And then I'm going to go up one more half step and I'm going to go to 8 and play that once and then again follow it with open 0. So I have 5, 0, 5, 0, 7, 0, 8, 0. Again, 5, 0, 5, 0, 7, 0, 8, 0. And you can see I'm using only my middle finger for everything, so it's okay if you use one finger on the left hand. So without me calling out, I have 3 and 4 and. Let's try together. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Let's go ahead and look at bar number 2. Bar number 2 sounds like this. Okay, so same rhythm. This time around, we're starting on the 4th fret, so we're going to play that 2 times in a row. So we have 4, 0, 4, 0. Okay? After that, you're moving up to 5. Play that once, and then 7. Okay, so together we have 4, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 7, 0. And if we count it out, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So the trick with learning this piece and getting it down quick is to break your practice and your learning and memorizing into sections. So one way to approach learning this piece, guys, is to learn just bar 1 and loop it. So for example, so I played it 3 times in a row there, right? I just kept looping bar 1. So once I can play that a few times in a row clean and in a perfect timing, then I can do the same thing with bar number 2, which sounds like this. Okay, so you want to loop bar number 2. Once you can do that clean and play it in a perfect timing, then you want to try and play bar 1 and 2 together. So it sounds like this. So again, looping that. So it's just a great way to approach learning pieces of music. Break it down into sections, get it down perfectly cleanly, one piece at a time before moving on or before trying to get the whole song down. So again, with bar number 2, we just had 4, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 7, 0. So let's try that together, and then let's try 1 and 2 together. So here we go, bar 2 by itself, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now let's try 1 to 2 together. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so there's our first half of riff A. Let's look at bar number 3. Sounds like this. So cool little walk down riff. So we're going to jump all the way to 10. So another key thing you want to utilize for this song, because it's jumping around the fretboard, are the dots. So most ukuleles are set up with your first dot on fret 3, your next dot on fret 5, next dot on 7, next dot on 10, and the double dot is on 12. So you want to memorize that. And remember, the dots aren't only here. I see a lot of beginners always holding their ukulele like this to stare at the dots. Remember, the dots are on top of the fretboard. So we're going to jump all the way up to 10. We're going to play that once, and then we're going to start our little walk down. So it's going to go 10, 8, 7, 5. So you're literally going from that first dot before the double dot down to 8 to the next dot to the next dot. So it's a great way for using those dots. So again, we're going 10 to 8 to 7 to 5. Remember guys, everything is on string 2 and 1. So again, 10, 8, 7, 5. So let's try that together slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So now let's look at bar number 4. Bar number 4 is going to be a walk down, but this time we're starting on the 8th fret. So it sounds like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on 8. So we're going to go 8 open to 7 to 5 to 4. So again, we have 8, 0, 7, 0, 5, 0, 4, 0. Okay? So let's do this. Let's try 4 together slowly, and then we're going to try 3 to 4. So here we go, starting on the 8th fret. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So now let's try 3 to 4 together. So we'll start on 10. We have 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now let's try 1 through 4 together. So all of it put together slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 4 and. Okay? If I play it without calling it out, we've got this, guys. Okay, so the thing with this riff is that it's going to repeat twice, and there's only one minor difference. That difference is that the very last note in the 4th bar will be held for a quarter note the second time you play the riff. So let me go ahead and show you exactly what that means. I'm going to play it once through, bar 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat 1, 2, 3, 4. So you hear on bar 4, I just played the 2nd string and ended on that 4th fret. So if we look at the second ending, which is the 4th bar, the second time we repeat, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it doesn't play the open 1st string, so you just cut that note out. Now we're doing that because it buys us a little bit more time to jump into riff B, which is going to be playing out of the chords and getting that fuller, kind of fatter sound. So that's the reason why we're cutting out the last note. So guys, that's everything. That is riff A, the first time through and the second time through. So really cool sounding, not too hard because it's all on the 1st and 2nd string. So let's go ahead and jump into riff B. So here's how riff B sounds. So you see, it's the same vein as riff A, it just fills up the sound like we said. So let's learn our first chord. It's very simple. We've probably played it a lot of times, just an A minor chord. We're going to use that middle finger, so everything's stock chord that you've played a lot of times before. So it's just the middle finger on the 2nd fret of string 4. Everything else is open. So I'm doing an interesting attack with my right hand. So I'm going to teach you the attack that I'm using, but we'll also show you an easier way to do it too. So you guys have 2 options. So here's what bar 1 by itself sounds like. So what I'm doing, and this is both the same for both ways, you're just going to start with a strum of the A minor, and then I'm going to use this little flicking attack where I'm flicking down with my nail of my middle finger on string 1 and then coming up with the nail of my thumb on string 1. So if you want to practice this, you don't have to make the chord. You can just go flick down, flick up. So down with the nail of the middle, up with the nail of the thumb. So if I go real slow, I have down, up, down, up, down, up. You can hear how that tone is brighter, louder, and a bit harsher. And the harshness actually works really well with this type of scale quality in that it's that Eastern sound, that unique sound. So it actually helps to build the dynamics, especially for this riff B, which really builds the sound, right? We really want to accent the hits. So that's kind of what my idea behind doing the little flick approach. So it's kind of weird, you just want to practice it. You see how the wrist isn't moving, and it's not like strumming where the wrist has a lot more movement. Just flicking down, flicking up. Now if you don't want to do that, you can just pluck the note with the flesh of your finger a few times. So literally you could take like the ring finger and just go pluck, pluck, pluck on string 1. But you hear it doesn't get that same dynamic hit. So I would work on the first technique because it is really useful for certain types of songs. So there's plucking versus flick, and you can really hear the difference when you hear them back to back. All right, so go back to that A minor chord. So we're gonna strum it, and then we're gonna play the open A string 3 times in a row. We wanna keep the rhythm steady, so strum and 2 and, so straight eighth notes. Strum and 2 and. If I count it out, or call out the first string, I have strum, O, O, O. So again, strum, O, O, O. And that's the open A. 1 and 2 and. Then I'm gonna follow that up by playing everything on the first string. I'm just gonna go 2nd fret to the 3rd fret. So I'm using ring to pinky. If I put that bar together, I have 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So you hear those last 2 notes are quarter notes. So again, strum, O, 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 2, 3. All right, so that is bar number 1. Here's what bar number 2 sounds like. There's only one difference. And as you can see, the difference is, instead of that A minor chord, we're going to be making an A minor major 7. So the only difference that happens is get rid of the middle finger, put your index on the 1st fret of string 4, and the rest is open. Has a really unique sound, these minor major 7 chords. So we're going to do the same thing, guys. We're going to go strum, O, 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 2, 3. Everything's identical, just the chord changes. So we have bar 1 to bar 2. Let's try together. 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And that's it. So let's try again. 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay. So let's try bar number 3 now. It's not too hard, a bit of a finger stretch in it, but here's what it sounds like first, then we'll break it down. So all quarter notes in this bar. So our first chord is an E minor 7, so we're going to take that middle, put it on the 4th fret of string 3, and your pinky on 5 on string 1. So the 4 and the 2nd string is open. So I got open 4th, open 5th fret. So I'm going to strum this one, all 4 strings, and then I'm going to lift my pinky up, put the index on the 3rd fret of string 1, play that note by itself, move the index down a half step to the 2nd fret, play that note once, and then lift that index finger up, play the open A. So it's a walk down of the melody on string 1. So I've got strum, 3, 2, O. So it's a little tricky with that stretch. Strum, 3, 2, O. Let's try it together. So we have 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So from here, we're going into bar 4. So bar 4 is a little tricky. So what you want to work on is the transition from 3 to 4. What you're going to do is that middle finger is going to go down a whole step. So it goes from the 4th fret to the 2nd fret. Then we're going to add our index finger to the 1st fret of string 4 and your pinky to the 3rd fret of string 1. So this gives us an E7 with a sharp 5. So it's a dominant with a altered tension in there. So an interesting sound. Right, so let's call out this chord again. Index is on the 1st fret of string 4, middle is on the 2nd fret of string 3, pinky is on the 3rd fret of string 1, and our E string is open. So if we were to get rid of the pinky and put our ring finger on the 2nd fret of string 1, this is a chord that probably a lot of us have played. It's just a natural, or the regular E7. Okay, so that's one you can practice, going from the sharp 5 to the regular E7. So again, the transition is the hard part. So if I play from bar 3 to 4, that's what you want to work on. You see how that middle finger just slides down a whole step. So the least amount of movement that you can do with your left hand will make it the most efficient way to play. So let's look at bar 4, sounds like this. So again, all quarter notes for this one. So we're going to strum the E7 sharp 5, and then we're going to get rid of pinky, put that ring finger down as if it was a regular E7, but only play string 1, So it's the 2nd fret. Lift that up, play the open A, and then play the 4th string, which is the 1st fret. So I've got sharp 5, strum, lift the pinky, 2nd fret, open A, 4th string. So together, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So if we try bar 3 to 4 together, let's give that a shot. So we're going back to the E-7. We have 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So riff B is trickier than A, right? There's a lot more going on, and some of the chords are a little bit tricky to grab. All right, guys, let's try 1 through 4 for riff B. So together it sounds like this. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and if I play it without calling it out, we have this. Alright guys, so riff B will go 2 times in a row, and there's no alternate ending like in riff A, so you're just going to double that. Now, it is a hard change from going from the end of riff B all the way up to the beginning of the chorus. So if you want to cut out that last note, you're definitely welcome to do that, and it'll buy you more time to jump up to the chorus. Alright guys, so that's everything for this lesson. So if you guys want to learn the chorus plus the outro, so the second half of the tune, we're going to be covering that in part 2 of the video lesson at rockclass101.com. So remember, you can also get the tabs to print off and follow along with, and the backing track. So once you learn the whole song, you can play along with the drums and the U-bass. So it's just a lot of fun. It's like rocking out in your home. Don't forget, you also get access to the on-screen tab viewer, which is super helpful with learning this piece. Plus, if you want to learn the U-bass part for this song, we also have a separate lesson on that too. So again, the link for that one is in the description box below. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I will see you in part 2. Thanks.